What's up, guys? It's your boy, the hoodlum, Eric Acton, and you're tuning in to the 3 Count Podcast. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Chaz Evans, and you are now listening to the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring, Mad Max! Ah!
What's going on, guys? Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chaz Evans, and you are listening to Now Entering the Ring. Let's go down my faction. Introducing first, weighing in at 215 pounds, he is the man that runs this show because, hey, I'm black. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cliff Red Dog Miller.
All right, new catchphrase. Yeah, that's it. That's my catchphrase.
Okay, before I finish off, I just want to let everyone know Cliff does this Triple H point every time he says it and points to no one.
It's a no one.
Like
At all.
we're gonna have to get a clip of you doing that so we can know that you just point to literally no one.
Point to
And
the
that's
logo.
the people, and that's how many people you've got. Oh, point to the logo. Okay, good save. Good save.
Yeah.
Good save. Alrighty, and introducing next, he is the 75-time Dark Side of the Force, black man, do-rag wearing, big swole, and I'm not talking about Isaiah Swerve Scott. He is the man. He is the be-all, end-all, and he does have coronavirus. He also slapped your mama because the chicken tastes good. And he is also the Intercontinental National World Heavyweight Black Man Champion. Give it up for Chris Idol!
Always happy to be here.
And introducing next, he is my little brother. He's the only reason he's on this show is because he watches YouTube wrestling videos. And he still thinks it's real. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for JJ!
I like to thank the sidewalks for keeping me off the street. It's dangerous times out here, We got, dirty things going on. You need to wash your hands because, it's sickening out here, bacteria.
And ladies and gentlemen, our guest today on Now Entering the Ring, we got the man. We got Mad Max in the hot seat. What the fuck is up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me here. The Wild-Eyed Headbanger is here to clang and bang, drink some Jim Beam, and talk a whole bunch of bullshit. So let's get to it.
All righty. I like the sound of that. Let's get down to business. All right. Got a couple questions for you, man. So my first question is, I ask this to everyone that comes on the show is, how did you get into wrestling?
I stepped between the ropes. That's what I did to get into wrestling.
That's gold.
That's why I asked that question, because everyone's story is different. Everyone's story is different.
I sat my ass on that middle rope, and I put one foot in front of the other like you do when you come out that shining pink tunnel at the beginning of your lifespan, and I just walked through, and I took a bump and locked up. That's what I did.
That's how you get into wrestling, folks. Simple as that. Oh man, is that your serious answer though?
No, not at all. You like it though, don't you?
I do. I like it.
Too. I was gonna go. I was ready to go to the next question because I was gonna leave it at that.
Oh man. No, as far as me and my wrestling journey, dude, it started when I turned 30. I graduated college and I met a guy at a flea market, and he had a school, and I got invited down. I tried it. I almost quit, and then I got talked into not quitting, and I stuck with it. And 5 years later, now I'm, the Wild-Eyed Headbanger doing all the headbanger things and traveling all the headbanger places and all that happy, fun jazz stuff. So that's save y'all the long story. I'll give you the short story.
So what is probably your favorite memory so far in wrestling?
So, dude, I got a ton. Dude, because I've hung out with a lot of really cool people since I got in wrestling. Got to do like a lot of really cool stuff. I know probably one of the coolest things I've done was I got to wrestle Gangrel and Kevin Thorn in Norfolk about 2 years ago, and I stuck my thumb up Kevin Thorne's ass. I swear to God, dude, I thought it was his idea, and I thought he was playing a rib on me, but luckily I didn't turn into a vampire because he got cheeks that felt like he bit me. It was crazy. I thought I lost the thumb. It was fucking nuts. But, yeah, Kevin Thorne ruled. Hanging out with Gangrel's always been cool. Get to pick his brain's always a fun time. So anytime I get to hang with the veterans, it's been a lot of fun. I've made a lot of pals in the business, like my old tag partner who I've just reunited up with, Rock Richards, the Relentless One. We used to hit the road all the time for like 3 years. We used to go to Tennessee all the time. And I remember getting in there and wrestling like front of like, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 people. And just some of the shit that comes out of these fans' mouths when we go in there and we're healing it up, baby, it's just been incredible. Because you don't expect to hear some of the stuff that these people be saying to you, because you're like, God damn, seriously? It's like, is this how you talk in church? This is incredible. You're giving me stories for like when I'm 90, if I make it that long. Probably not, but it's all good. But yeah. Doing the stuff with the veterans has always been cool. Some of my favorite moments has been like, I don't know. Every time I get into a cage match is always fun. Every time wrestling the veterans has been fun. I got to wrestle my trainer, Damian Wayne, last year, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to wrestle him again. And then, just bullshitting and wrestling is fun in general.
And my last question is, you spoke about how you almost quit wrestling and you got talked out of it. So tell us about how getting in the business is not all that easy. And when you first start, you have those moments of where you want to give up.
Yeah, dude. So I guess I got to start at the beginning. Well, kind of. It's like in the middle, because my life has been kind of like one of those. Have you ever seen that movie Walk Hard with Dewey Cox?
Yes.
And it starts off where it's like he comes from these beginnings, and then there's this part of his life to where he is now, and then he ends up becoming the thing. Well, my life's been kind of a series of those, and it's really weird because I started off as a musician. I got into wrestling like way late. I got into wrestling when I was like 30 years old, dude. But I was playing out for like 15, 16 years, rock and rolling. And once I got into wrestling, I think it was like 3 or 4 months in, because I'll be honest with you, dude, I was gross. I was a piece of shit. I was out of shape. I was trying to get in shape. I couldn't run ropes worth crap. I couldn't bump worth crap. Everything looked like shit, and everything was just. I hurt. I was sucking wind, and I looked disgusting. So I was like, dude, this is terrible. And then I had an injury where I ended up breaking my wrist, and I was out for about 6 weeks. And I had a talk with my trainer and whatnot, and I told him I was having my doubts, and he was like, nah, dude, I could tell you really want this, so I really suggest you keep going. And once the cast came off, dude, I went in there, wrapped it up, and took bumps the next day. I was like, all right, cool, let's just get at it and make it better. And then I did that and just kept going, because I'm definitely one of those cats that I like to do a lot of things, but I don't like to quit anything. Like, I don't know, I'm one of those people where I'd rather it just, if it's not meant for me, I know when to fold it, but quitting, I just don't quit a whole lot of stuff, man. It's just not in my vocabulary very often.
Yeah, it's funny because like you and I have met like a few times, and like I definitely can relate to that story about like just like wanting to throw in the towel, because I know like especially when you're so young into it, you're like I don't believe I don't believe like I can do this, even though like everybody around you has that same thing. So I guess my question for you would be like, what's the hardest part of being a wrestler?
I guess the hardest part about being an actual wrestler is maybe differentiating, who you are with who you're supposed to be, and figuring out exactly who you're supposed to be. Because I know I didn't figure out who I was for at least like 3-4 years. Probably wasn't until like a year or two ago I didn't figure out exactly who I was. And like even now I don't say I exactly know who I am, but I've got a lot better idea than I have been. And that's difficult because you don't really get anywhere if you don't know what's going on. And fans see that. And then at the same time, it's like having an internal struggle with your own self because you got all these ideas and you got all these things and then trying to find what works and find what doesn't. And it's like, well, if it could work, it might not work for me, but it could work for somebody else. And it's just a lot of trial and error and a lot of soul searching until you finally come on to something that just it like divine. It just clicks one day. You're like, all right, I'm starting to figure this out. But really trying to figure out who you are, that's tough. The bumps are tough, but you get used to those. And the travel sucks. I'll be the first to say it, dude. The travel sucks, man. Like staying in a car for so long, man. People get hurt in wrestling more just by sitting in cars for like extended period of time than they do fucking actually wrestling. I think that's probably I don't mind driving. I just don't like the way my body feels when I get out the car after so long. So that's probably, for me, the hardest part about wrestling.
So to kind of move from like the hardest part, obviously being in a ring is like one of like your favorite things, but tell me about one of the best interactions that you've had with fans.
I've had quite a few, man. Because it's really weird, too, because I'm born to entertain. I like go out there and give people a reason to forget about their own bullshit for a while, in their own lives. So when I go out there and whether I'm the heel or the baby, a lot of times I'll go be the biggest asshole and these people will latch in and then they'll throw stuff at me and cuss me out and try to hop the rail and all this other stuff. And we'll hoot and holler and all this back and forth. But you know what? At the end of the show, they'll come up to me and be like, you know what? I had a lot of fun screaming and yelling at you. Like, you legit pissed me off, and it made me feel good.
So,
and truthfully, that's what I strive for. Because I mean, wrestling's a show, dude, and that's what people pay their money for. Is they pay their money for a show, and they want their ticket, and they want to go buy their peanuts and popcorn and go cheer for the good guys and scream and yell and cuss at the people they don't like. And if I'm going to be the guy you don't like, I'm going to fucking make you scream and hoot and holler the hardest you can. And then I want to give you your money's worth, make you enjoy it. And that's, for me, some of the best stuff. Either that or when a kid comes up to me at the end of the show and be like, dude, you're my favorite. Like, out of all these other guys, I'll have kids come up to me every now and again and be like, dude, you are my guy. You are my favorite wrestler. And I'm just like, you're making a mistake, kid, but I do appreciate it.
So I'll be honest. I have followed your career for like a little bit now, in the last couple months, and I know you've been to different promotions and worked in different areas, man. But what's the future hold for Mad Maxx?
There's no telling. There's really no telling, my dude, because I know for me, my whole career is been a crapshoot, to be truthfully honest with you. Because I said it the first day I started, and I've lived by it my entire career this far. And my whole philosophy is I have no endgame. So where I've been has just been through networking and hard work. And I've been a lot of places. I've gotten to do a lot of things, and I've been able to build a movie career now. I just got 2 more roles offered to me in the last month or two. I got a leading role I'm doing next month in a horror movie. I didn't have a movie career before I got into wrestling. That's for damn sure. I wasn't doing music videos before wrestling. I wouldn't have met my wife if it wasn't for wrestling. And I sure as hell wouldn't be living in Maryland if it wasn't for wrestling. But I say sky's the limit, dude. And like Bruce Lee says, dude, if there ain't a stone in the water, or if there's a stone in the water, just go with the flow of things. And that's what I've done this whole time is I just kind of go with the flow of whatever's happening and see what best I can make from it. And that's just where all the opportunities go.
Okay. So what's the hardest you've ever been hit inside the wrestling ring?
Well, we got this guy in Northern Virginia. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'll tell that story. We got this cat. His name is Porkchop Johnson.
Oh my god.
And yeah, and I've got probably one of the hardest heads in independent wrestling, you know. But this dude's got a fucking cinder block on his shoulders, dude. And we went to blows at it one night, and we were throwing headbutts back and forth, and this dude cracked me so hard, I got a dent in my eyebrow. I ended up fracturing my orbital socket and all this other stuff. That was pretty hard. Ain't gonna lie, that was pretty hard. Probably the hardest I've had.
Wow. That sounds insane.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that hurts, but that one, I got a souvenir from that one.
Okay. And what would you say is the biggest regret that you have or have had in your career thus far?
I don't know. There's probably a few people I wish I would have listened to a little better. That's probably about it. I don't regret much. I live by what I've done, and I stand by all my decisions I've made, whether they've been good or bad. But there's a couple people I could have listened to a little better. There's a couple directions I could have gone when I didn't. And that's all part of that journey, dude, where you just live and learn. So I don't regret anything, but I know there's a couple things I could have done differently. But it's all good because, making up for it now.
Alrighty, I guess it's now my turn. So the 3 Count listeners at home would like to know, what is the worst bump that you have ever taken?
Worst bump I ever took was probably the one on a stage built by Freemasons at the Masonic Temple at VCW in Norfolk, Virginia, where I broke my foot.
Ooh.
I was in a tag team for a long time called Noise Pollution, and we had this feud with the Hall Stars down there, and it culminated in this Granby street fight. And the motherfucker tried to set me on fire for one, so fuck him right off the bat. I mean, he hit me with gold records. I drop toe holded him through a chair into his brother's balls. That was great. And then fuck him twice. He tried to set me on fire. But we had a table on the stage, and we were working towards it. And mind you, I'd never been bumped outside a ring before at that point. And this cat, it was a rookie mistake on my part, but he suplexed me, just your basic suplex, and my foot turned, and I ended up breaking the side of my left foot. We won the match, and I went to the bar the next day, and I was I went to the bar that night, had a hard time, woke up next morning, ended up finding I had a hole in my esophagus from another move that show, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I had a broke foot, spent a night in trauma, all the other stuff. It was a good time, but that was probably the worst bump I ever took.
Man. Ooh. Alrighty. What is the best advice that you could give to up and coming rustlers?
Dude, latch onto a veteran that's worth their shit. Like seriously, and here's what I mean by that. You need to latch on to somebody who's actually done things in the business, because there's a lot of cats that have been around 15, 20 years. They ain't done jack shit, but have a lot to say. That's why you want to get with somebody that's like accomplished things, that know people that you can network with, so that you can pick their brains and learn the best you can. And that leads into my next piece of advice: is you want to pick the brain of just about everybody and anybody you can, because you can learn from anybody positive and negative things to do, things not to do. Eyes open, mouth shut. That was something spoke to me by all my trainers, all my veterans. It works. Just listen to everything, filter things out, or filter out what doesn't apply, and just hang on to what does, man. Trial and error. That, and just most importantly, have fun and do the work. Like, the thing that I see a lot of cats do, especially young cats, is like they take themselves too seriously, and they take wrestling too seriously, which by means, this is a serious business, but you're not supposed to take it so seriously that you can't enjoy yourself. You got to remember exactly why you're doing this. You're doing this because you love it, and you're doing it because people love watching you do it. So you got to enjoy yourself, man. So I guess that's my 3 takeaways. Just train under people that know what they're talking about. Pick the brain of everybody around you. Ask a lot of questions. Don't talk too much, and just have fun.
Okay, and my last question will be, what is the worst match you've ever been a part of, since I know you've been in many, many matches?
I'd rather not call anybody out, but I've had my fair share of shit shows, man. Let's just chalk it up as that.
All right, I respect that.
Alrighty then, it's now time for the rapid fire question round. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna have our imaginary timer go ding. There it is, imaginary. All right, so got a couple questions. First thought that comes to your mind. Ready? And favorite movie?
Poontang.
Favorite color?
Aqua.
SmackDown or Raw?
Pumpkins.
Batman or Superman?
Trash can.
Best match you've ever seen?
Liquor bottle.
Nike or Adidas?
Nightmares.
Last time you've laughed out loud?
Donkey.
What pisses you off?
Stupid questions.
And last one. Oh.
Chaz has been broken.
Oh man.
Good, bro.
I'm good. Oh, I gotta get the last one out. All right, just that was
There
fun.
you go. You got it.
Woo!
Baby steps. Baby steps.
All right, favorite cuss word.
Cunt.
All right. Oh man, that's the best rapid fire question round I've ever done, ever. That's the best right there. Oh man, that was funny. Oh, what pisses you off? Stupid questions. Die. Oh man. All right, I gotta get back. All right, take control of the show, Chad. All right. That's exactly what I do every show. I do it every time.
And scene.
Right. Well,
Tiger face. Lemon face. Ooh. Tiger face. Lemon face. Ooh.
That's okay. Hey, you know what? Let's talk about this really quick. Right. So Max is putting that is from Jay and Silent Bob, the movie I've been telling you that you need to check
I know,
out,
I
Chad.
know.
It's like one of my favorite scenes.
Not even gonna joke, dude. That exercise helps because, dude, it is so easy for your face to cramp up, especially if you're trying to make like a super mean face, and it just all of a sudden you're like, oh god, and it just fucking cramps up and shit. So yeah, you gotta. Your face is full of muscles like everything else. You gotta exercise it.
Oh man, Max, I want to say thank you again for being on the show.
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Definitely, we will definitely have you back. Definitely appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of Now Entering the Ring. I'm Chaz Evans here with the Red Dog, here with the Black Man Champion Chris Idol, here with JJ, and here with Mad Max. We will catch you again on the flip side and on another edition of the 3 Count. Make sure you wash your hands and don't forget to support your favorite podcast on ProWrestlingTees.com/the3CountPod. THE the number 3 COUNTPOD. That's ProWrestlingTees.com/the3CountPod. I'm Chaz Evans. Catch you guys later.
Thanks. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel to get the best content from the 3 Count. We're the best podcast out there. Don't let anyone tell you different. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at 3CountPod, as well as on Twitter at 3Count_pod.